A cannabis expo showcasing the health, agricultural and financial benefits of cannabis has kicked off in Pretoria. It comes just months after the private use of marijuana was legalized. Now the expo is expected to conclude on Sunday. For more on this, we're joined by reporter Govan Whittles. Govan, quite a fascinating experience you had today. I don't know if we need to do any tests before we go into this,
no, I don't think so.
into this interview. But what did you discover at the Cannabis Expo that was perhaps fascinating, unexpected?
Yeah, certainly lots to see. This is the first time that we've had an expo where they had products which were not only had THC in it, but also some of the downstream industries. But some of the highlights: a cannabis energy drink, guaranteed to get you up and cruising at the right altitude. Then we have actually an app which can determine the exact percentage of THC in your cannabis plant. This is something that growers are very obsessed. They're obsessed with this because they're trying to get that THC level above 15%.
What is THC?
THC is the chemical compound in cannabinoids that produces the feeling of euphoria when you actually smoke or ingest any of the substances. So that is a device which can measure exactly how much THC you have, is quite sought after in the industry. Those are just two of the things. I mean, other ones included cannabis oil, stuff that could be used for anxiety, for stress. So there's just a range of products that are available, from fertilizer to sprinkler system.
An argument has long been made for the medicinal purposes of cannabis. So in terms of the medical field, what did you find there? Any innovative products that have been put up on the market since the Constitutional Court ruling?
We know of two shops, actually coffee shops, one in Johannesburg and one in the Western Cape, that has started providing medicinal cannabis after that Constitutional Court ruling. But the key here is that the Constitutional Court has only allowed the private cultivation and private use of cannabis. In fact, it doesn't allow you to sell the cannabis that you grow, even if you intend to sell that to someone with a doctor's prescription. But I did speak to one of the lawyers who was at the conference, and he's from Schindler's Attorneys. These are the same guys that helped the Dacha couple in the South Gauteng High Court when they were applying when they were contesting their arrest. And this law firm played a big role in the actual judgment which came from the Constitutional Court. But he was basically explaining what kind of licenses you need when you want to actually grow cannabis and use it. Let's have a look at what he said.
There is quite a disconnect right now between the end user and the grower. Right now in South Africa, to grow cannabis on a commercial scale, it has to be of a medicinal quality, and you need what's called a Section 22C license. Now you apply to SAHPRA for that, the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority. You'll apply to them for that. And what that allows you to do, it allows you to cultivate cannabis. It allows you to make extracts of the cannabis. You can extract the THC, the CBD. On top of that, though, you also need a permit from the Department of Health.
So it sounds like there are quite a number of restrictions, just even on the use that private growers then would be able to use cannabis for.
Yeah, exactly. And much of this expo was about how to jump through the loopholes which currently exist, because obviously here we have a lot of growers, a lot of people that are experimenting with alternative medicines. We also have a range of other people which have products which assist people to grow. So those people all have these products. They're hoping to sell them, but they want to make sure that they're still on the right side of the law.
Govan, last question to you. There's also the issue of exclusion, because these stands, I understand, are going for about 10,000 Rand each, and many questioning, the people that haven't been able to access it, but that have been using cannabis for all sorts of different uses, really.
Yeah, here we're talking about the informal market, which, according to some studies in South Africa, dwarfs the formal market in the United States. So there's certainly millions and millions of people in South Africa that are involved in cannabis, either cultivation or sale. And here, the price of the stands here, the minimum was 10,000 Rand. It goes for as much as 20,000 Rand to exhibit your products at this expo. But we spoke to the organizer, and he said he believes it's value for money. There are high-end clients that are coming through the expo. He believes that this is getting exposure on a level that it hasn't gotten in South Africa before. And he seems to think that they'll be able to maintain the expo at that price when they go to different cities in the country.
All right, let's leave it there for